That said, it'll probably be a defensive tackle in the first round because there's 17 bajillion really good ones in this draft. Maybe a running back. Who knows? Speaking of running backs, what round do you think Trevion Henderson goes? He reminds me of Dalvin. I think he's going to be in that bubble of the top end of day two in the second round because you do have Judkins, who's going to go in that mix, his teammate at The Ohio State, as well as Scadabos is going to be in there. Dylan Sampson's going to be in there. Caleb Johnson's going to be in there too. So Hampton might slide out of the first round. So it's going to be, again, this draft is lining up perfectly for the Vikings. Everything that you need. Defensive tackle, tons of them. Running back, tons of them. That's why I like the strategy of hammer interior offensive line and cornerback in free agency and then go D-tackle, running back in the draft. Double, triple up. Just go do that. And Henderson's really good, man. I love the selflessness that Henderson and Judkins had because both of them certainly could have been bell cows in their own right. Judkins was at Mississippi for a couple years, but Henderson, he does have that extra gear. Does need to develop more as a receiver, except I think that you can just tailor an offense where it just really is dump-offs to him in favorable spots, too. Like, not everyone has to be like Aaron Jones, where you're basically a wide receiver playing running back in terms of receiving skills. But, yeah, Henderson's going to be a dude, man. Right? And also, find a way to get Watts and Henderson on the same team, and they can just reminisce about the national title game. Hey, wasn't that great? Good times. Ethan Griffith. Why is everyone so focused on guard and not center? Bradbury has been paired with at least 15 guards through the years, and nothing has changed. Change him and then reevaluate Brandel. I think that's fair. Hell, move Brandel to center. Just, left tackle to Oregon State, you're sliding on in until you're finally at the pivot. But Bradbury, I was not on board with the Bradbury extension before 2023. I just didn't like it at all because you had a center who, so Bradbury is a little bit older of a prospect coming into the draft, and he's a physical freak, sure, but the anchor never improved. The lower body strength never improved. He was one of the worst, if not the worst, graded pass protecting centers the first 3 years. He declined his fifth-year option. I didn't understand the extension at the time. Also, remember 2022, he had that back issue. I think it started in Buffalo, where he missed significant time, and you don't meet someone on the wrong side of 30 who used to have a bad back. You just don't, right? So I didn't really understand it. Bradbury also was one of the worst centers in the league, again, this season in terms of pass protection. I know that he's well-liked. I know that he's a team leader. I know that he's relatively solid at calling out pass protections, but I don't know. Like, the Vikings need to get back to having size at the pivot. And the Vikings have to go through, like, is it going to be Juergens? Is it going to be a free agent? Can they hammer one in the draft? There's going to be a couple interesting centers day 3. So, I don't know. Like, it's something that the Vikings are going to have to figure out. And I think that parting ways with Bradbury, saving that couple million of cap space, would be move number 1. Just completely revamp and gut the interior offensive line and go from there. Next, Abul. Should we get rid of Wes Phillips because of our bad run game? And I feel like our receivers are not schemes to be open as they should be. Who would be a good successor? Well, Wes Phillips is in a tough spot. Kevin O'Connell obviously calling plays. The OC, when the head coach calls plays, he never gets any of the credit, and he gets all the blame, right? And, well, if you're going to blame anyone for the run game, you should lean more towards Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach, as well as running backs coach / run game coordinator Curtis Modkins. I think that's where you would start. But with Phillips, Phillips is more of a passing game guy. Anyways, he's been a tight ends coach, been a quarterbacks coach, was the passing game coordinator / tight ends coach when they won a Super Bowl with the Rams back in the day. And Wes, you could tell that Kevin O'Connell really leans on Wes. Right, and Wes, gets all the crap. He doesn't get any of the credit, but he does deserve a little bit of the credit out there too. But in terms of run game, I think the Vikings are going to basically run it back with the same coaching staff, which is kind of nice, depending on what happens with Udinsky. But also you may consider what to do with Modkins as well as Cooper. Like, maybe fire him, but maybe just let him know, like, hey, we need to see a market improvement in the run game, because Vikings last 3 years, the run game has just been ass. Thank you. And it doesn't matter if it was Dalvin or Madison or even Aaron Jones this year, even though Aaron Jones set a career high for rushing yards in a season. The consistency hasn't been there, and rushing yards yards per carry. I believe the Vikings starting in 2022 were 26th, 24th, and 26th in the league. So you're bottom of the league in that department. And this is a team that wants to run the ball. Like, even though you got Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, you want to run the ball to establish a framework for the offense, keep play action viable. The Vikings are one of the heaviest usage of play action teams in the league. And if you can't run the ball, like, what's the point? All right. And J.J. McCarthy, I mean, he's going to be that dude, but obviously a young quarterback is going to be a lot more comfortable with a running game out there. Lastly, fire shots, best Super Bowl foods. So I was actually thinking, like, what would I do if the Vikings go to a Super Bowl? I think I'm just going to sit in the studio, just be nervous, not drink. Maybe drink a little. I don't know. But so Super Bowl foods. So generally, when we have a Super Bowl, we have either a gathering or there's a poker game or something like that. But I'm always an advocate of things that you can do ahead of time. Like, if you're going to cook, if you can order in, that's fantastic too. But things that you do up ahead of time, and things that maintain their structural integrity for a long duration of time, right? So things like steak, things like burgers, brats and all that stuff, like that's fine. But if you want something that's going to sit out, like barbecue, you do up a brisket, you do up some ribs, do up some pulled pork. I mean, that's fantastic, and it's something that people can graze on all day long. Wings are great, but I've always been a big advocate of, no matter how you prepare your wings, fry, air fry, bake, order, whatever, have the sauce separate, because otherwise they're just going to sit in that sauce, and then all the crunchiness and crispiness, it just goes away. And people can sauce as they go, but also dip is a huge thing. Anything that you can think of can be turned into a dip. At one of our last gatherings, we did, it's like a charcuterie board of dips, and it was a pickle roll-up, which is big here in the Midwest. People elsewhere may be like, no, but it's really good. Crab rangoon, like an olive tapenade, a buffalo chicken dip, which is pretty common. There's one more I can't remember. Yeah, but people love dips. Just, you can turn anything you want to. You can have egg roll dip. You can do a pho dip. You can do anything, man. It's great. Chips and dip, always popular. Plus, for whatever reason, at gatherings, people love the relish trays. The veggie trays. No one eats vegetables in their normal life, but at a gathering, whether it's a Super Bowl party or a graduation party or a kid's birthday party, whatever, they will hammer down vegetables. Like, so cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, I like mushrooms, portobellos, celery, just anything with the dip, whether it's French onion dip or ranch dip. Just go out there and get it. Also, this is really stupid. So, one of my favorite dips recently that we've been doing, just like when we're snacking or whatever, is just saute up a bunch of onions, a little bit of garlic, and just sweat them down, and then just put them in sour cream. And it's basically just like a rustic French onion dip, and it is so good. It is so stupidly simple and amazingly good. It just, you get hit with a shot of Worcestershire sauce, or a little bit of soy sauce or fish sauce, whatever. But just keep it as simple as possible and just go. It's the name of the game. I don't know what we accomplished. Oh, yeah. I'm not like a big pizza at tailgate guy. Nah. But it's all right. Anyways, that is it. Q&A. This is a beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull. Production value.